Stacking Kat.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Stacking Kat channel, where I talk all things silver with a little bit of gold. And thank you so much for watching. I greatly do appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please do so and push that notification bell, as well as smash that like button and leave a comment. That would be awesome. So I did something a little bit different with this video. I was able to go on a tour of the old San Francisco Mint, which was put on by the California Historical Society. So I put a little documentary together, and I hope you all enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get into the documentary. This is the Stacking Kat. I'm about to get on the BART train and head out to San Francisco and go on this tour of the Mint. All right, there's San Francisco off in the distance. I'm just riding along. It's about a little bit of a BART trip, not too bad. I'm just excited to see everything that this Mint has to offer. I hope they still have some equipment there. I'm not quite sure if they do or not. I hope they let me film. We'll see exactly what happens when I get there. So I just arrived here in San Francisco, leaving the BART station, and let's go outside and head to the Mint. All right, here's just a quick shot of a classic cable car. And sorry for the choppy video. You can see the Mint there on the right, and getting close. And here it is, the old granite lady, as they call it. Us as stackers, we owe a lot of our stack, specifically Morgans, peace dollars, or any gold, to this building. Closer view. Still a little bit to go till this tour starts. The columns, awesome architecture. So located on 5th and Mission Streets in downtown San Francisco, construction began in April of 1869. The architect was Alfred B. Mullett. He was also the supervising architect of the Treasury Department from 1866 through 1874. And as a matter of fact, he was also the one who was in charge of the U.S. branch mint at Carson City, Nevada. A ceremonial dedication was held on Thursday, November 5th, 1874, with the superintendent of construction turning over the keys to the superintendent of the Mint, former Civil War General O.H. LaGrange. And at the time of its opening was the largest production mint in the world. And of course, a key feature and aspect of the Mint were the 6 30-foot tall columns which adorned the front. As you can see, the stairs as well leading up to it. This was a very popular architecture style during the 19th century, which was known as Federal Greek Revival. And the Old Mint was one of the last and best of this style in the United States. And as we head inside, we are greeted by a plaque which states the Old United States Mint of San Francisco, California was in operation from 1874 through 1937 and designated as a National Historic Landmark in 1961, was eventually transferred over to the Department of the Treasury and reopened to the public in 1973 as a museum, which closed in 1994, and it now is open for private tours as well as general engagements such as wedding receptions. So as the tour began, it became quite evident that it was going to be difficult to film live action video, so I took a bunch of photographs, a bunch of still shots of various parts of the Mint. There is no equipment that remains due to various reasoning throughout the years. However, the rooms still tell a pretty nice story of what happened here, and I tried to intertwine a lot of older photographs, and I really hope that that will come across really good. So please enjoy as we get started with the tour. So continuing down this hallway would lead into the coinage room. So as we enter the coinage room, you can see the black and white tile floor. You can see where the machinery and the presses once stood. So as we can see, here is a picture from the time period of the coining room. Now, coins produced of this mint were made of gold, silver, and copper. So I just want to show you a few of the coins that were minted here at the old San Francisco Mint. Of course, one of the earlier ones, a 1879 Morgan. So we see that San Francisco Mint mark down below. All right, let's get into the next one. Of course, the silver dollar was changed to the peace dollar in 1921. Kind of a transition. Of course, they do have 21 Morgans as well. And you see the mint mark kind of all the way to the left side of the coin, the S. Of course, we have the gold piece. This is a half eagle, a Liberty head from 1903. Mint mark is really visible right below the eagle holding on to the olive branch. Let's see that S. Really love that coin. The $5 gold piece. And of course this one, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, 1936 commemorative $50. Now there is some controversy that I asked the tour guide about. What is the actual obverse and what is the reverse? Now he seems to think that this is the obverse because it says, "In God We Trust" on the front, and the whole United States of America and $50 and all that. Although on many other coins, we see that it says the date on the front and the denomination and everything else on the back. Now, I've heard it both ways. I like this side better. You know, the California Bear is cool, but just the awesome art that, you know, they put together in minting this coin, just the detail is unbelievable. Really phenomenal. I mean, it's spot on to what the bridge looks like. So back to the coining room, you could see where the machines were stamped out. You know, it was all tiled around the machines, of course. So here's a photograph of an old coin press. This is from the old San Francisco Mint, and currently it resides in the Nevada State Museum, which happens to be the old Carson City Mint. Now, the coin presses and other machinery were powered by steam until the early 20th century, when they were converted to electric power. A huge coreless steam engine was located on the first or main floor in a narrow room facing Mint Street at the rear of the building. And motive power was transmitted from the steam engine to the machinery by means of a complex system of rotating shafts linked to the machinery by leather belts, i.e. being belt-driven. And so here's the old receiving room, a modern look into it, and this is where regular citizens could come with their gold coinage, or gold bars, whatever it was, turn it in and get gold in larger bars, or turn their coins in, their money, for gold bars as well. And of course, here was the vault where all the gold and silver was stored. Through this heavy door, look at that thing. No getting in there. And here you could just see the scale of the gold and some of the silver that they did store there. As a matter of fact, at one point in the early 1930s, 1/3 of the nation's total gold supply was once stored here in the old mint. And as you go through the vault, you go into the private weighing room. This is where mint officials would go in and weigh the gold, all the different bullion they had, before they would send it out into the public just to make sure that they were sending out the correct amount. And here is a picture of that. A couple of employees watching as, I believe it was the mint superintendent or whoever happened to be in charge of receiving that day. Look at those big scales and counterweights. Look at all that gold there on the little carts. Phenomenal. And in this picture, one thing you don't notice from the previous picture are the giant columns that were put in the room. They were built in the late 1960s before it was transferred over to the Treasury Department as a way to restabilize the building. As of that point, it was nearly 100 years old. Now, in 1915, the old San Francisco Mint had the distinction of striking the largest gold coin in the country at that time, and up until 2010, it was the $50 gold piece known as a Quintuple Eagle. Wow. This thing was to commemorate the 1915 Pan-Pacific celebration. And here is a picture of the coin. I took this off APMEX's website. MS64 Plus from PCGS, going for over $138,000. Unbelievable. Okay, so here is a replica of that 1915 gold octagonal piece. This is a $2 ounce silver round made by the Intaglio Mint that is supposed to just pay tribute, pay homage to that gold piece. And the Pan-Pacific Exposition ran from February 20th through December 4th of 1915 to celebrate the opening of the Panama Canal. And if here, of course, is the front, or the obverse. This is kind of the same thing. It's like, is this the reverse? Who knows? The same look. And here's just a quick shot of the columns from inside the coining room. And now, tragedy struck the city of San Francisco on April 18th, 1906, when a 7.9 earthquake hit, leaving 3,000 people dead and over 80% of the city destroyed, primarily due to the fires which engulfed the city. And although most of the city was burned down, the mint stood tall. And this was really due to the fact that it was constructed on a bed of sand, which allowed for movement during an earthquake. It survived the earthquake with minimal damage due to this massive solid construction and separation from other structures. It had iron shutters and heroic efforts of employees who fought off the flames with a small hose and water from an outside well. The mint was instrumental in economic recovery for the city by serving as a clearinghouse bank and a distribution center for disaster relief funds. It was also an emergency source for the neighborhood and briefly housed a public restaurant. All right, and so of course the mint was open from 1874 through 1937. I'm just going to show you a few more images from the tour, intertwined with some old footage. When the mint closed in 1937, the United States decided to open a new mint in San Francisco at 155 Herman Street. Of course, this is where they minted circulated coins for quite a long time. In 1986, this is where the American Silver Eagle was minted, I believe up until 2011. They still do some fun things like the 2019 Enhanced Reverse Proof, amongst others, such as commemoratives and the like. So I hope you really enjoyed this documentary. I had a fun time making it. I hope a little history of where a lot of our different coins come from, whether you're a silver stacker or a numismatist. I just hope that you really enjoyed it. So, just thank you again, and please remember to subscribe and push that notification bell, smash that like button, and leave a comment. I'm really interested in hearing what everybody has to say about the documentary. And until next time, this is The Stacking Kat.